All right, so I think what I'm going to do on this is ISO 5. I'm going to draw, they're both actually a little tricky, but I'm going to draw the bottom one for you for my demo, and then I will move on to the other lesson after this. So this is really difficult when you look at it. So why don't I zoom in here a bit, and we'll see the best way to approach this. And so, you know, the funny thing is sometimes I have students who will just try to copy what I'm doing, and they don't always do it correctly. So it's really important that when we're doing this, you're trying to figure out the methodology and how I do this, because that's the takeaway that you should be getting, is how I do this, because you know we're all have the same way of processing and visually thinking. I just have a little more practice, but they're still hard. So what I generally do is, as you know, I kind of define the overall grid, and I don't want to do it too dark, but I can kind of see the cube. And so you know, you'll also notice that it doesn't tell us what the front or the side or the top is. Now that's kind of obvious, but honestly, when you look, you don't really know anyway. So let's just go ahead and label this. I'll just go ahead and say front, side, and top. Now, obviously, it gives us this, the z-axis, so that's a big help. So then what I'll do is I'll just say this is the side, right? Side, and this will be my front. And so then I'll go ahead and label these. And they always try to play tricks on us. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Good. All right. So this is easy in the sense that they're not. Sometimes they'll throw like they'll make the cube larger, and that makes things complicated. All right. So front to the side. I got my Z here. So I'm just going to work with what they give me. And what I mean by that is, rather than try to, I know there's a curve on there, and there's a hidden line, and there's another hidden line, but I'm just going to say, okay, this looks like it's got a plane here of some sort. All right, so this is a plane. It's flat over here, so I can pretty much tell that this part right here is going to be flush. So I'm just going to draw this. All right, so I'm going to draw cube 1. And then I see that there's a space. I'll go all the way to the end over here, up 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, I'm just going to work with what it gives me. And this comes up, and this goes up 2, and this goes all the way over to looks like there's one space there. And then it goes down. All right, so pretty much know that's there. And then I can see there's the circle, the center of the circle right here. So I can just go ahead and draw that in now. Notice it extends beyond the line, but not the whole part. And then it comes up here too. This is a little tricky to draw. We're actually going to learn how to draw this with a compass very soon. So do something like that. Okay, so that's pretty much everything it gives me here. I can see that there's this curve. I'm not going to worry about that for now. So then let me go ahead and deal with the front here. So I can tell that it looks like it kicks back. So I can draw the front here. I really should do all this with a ruler, but I'm doing this kind of fast. And so there's the break where it goes back. So that's pretty obvious. All right, and then I can see at the top there, it goes, there's nothing in front of it, so it goes all the way back, I can tell. And it's going to, let's see, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another one, so it goes to there. All right. All right, and then I'll just join that. Okay, does that look parallel? It does not look parallel, but it's pretty close. Okay. All right. So then I can tell it goes back, but it looks like it's going to be hidden back there somewhere. But I'm going to go ahead and just kind of give myself a little construction line that I can work with. It's not going to be there permanently, but I can kind of tell what I have here. Okay, so then I can, so I've got this little tripod thing here. I don't know, tripod. There's a little base, and then there's this, I can tell that's a curve. So it probably is going to look something like this, just looking at it. It's going to look something like that, right? I can just tell. So it's something like that. It's sitting on top of it, and I can tell that because here is the hidden line, which would be that part. I can tell from the top it's very, very obvious what's going on. So what I'll do is then is just draw this front of the plane. It's back 1, 2, 3. So back 1, 2, 3, and down 2. So it's going to start right here. And I can double check 1, 2, 3 back, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's a plane. It's 2 faces, all right, 2 places over, so it's going to look like this. And then there's another one on the other side, so it's 2 spaces. Again, if you could draw the planes first, that's your best bet. All right, so that's like the, I don't want to say the easy stuff because it's not easy. I do see that there's going to have to be a line going back here for this little tunnel. So that's that. So then I guess what I would do is to draw this weird shape. The best way to do it is kind of find the center. And so fortunately it's in the middle of this 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be there. So that's going to be where it is. It's got 2. So this one's right here. And so, you know, there's actually a little trick. If you look at this, if you would divide this, you would notice that it's actually a quarter, half, 3/4 from the 0, 0 here. So if I was looking at it, it's going to be back a little bit. It's going to look something like that. And then I have to do the same thing below it. And then this gets a little trickier, but what I would do on this, trying to draw it freehand, is I would just go ahead and look at, see this out of the way here. I can tell right here that you basically almost have an entire grid that is not used except for the little portion on the quarter of the way on both sides. So what that means is it just touches this point right here is right there. And this one over there is right over there. And if you notice, it just kisses it a little bit, just on the first quarter. It's like that. Does the same thing there, right? So that'll help me out tremendously, because then I can look over here and say, all right, it does the same on here, just touches it right there. And then here it just touches it. And so I can tell because that point right there is right there. And again, it's about a quarter into that grid right there. So then once I figure that out, because a circle is, if you remember, it's just any circle is just straight lines just put together, right? So it'll look something like this. And I'm just basically filling in the lines then. It's not perfect, but it's not bad, all right? And then I know that it's just, let me clean this up just a little bit here. And so the same exact thing's going to happen below it. So it's going to probably right about there. And then what I'll probably do is just come straight down. And where that intersects, something like that. All right, I think I'm pretty much done. I can certainly do a better job with this if I take my time. Okay, so backside, let's darken that. And then I still need to draw some of these center lines, right? So I'll take this one, come up, stop there. I'm not going to have you draw hidden lines on this one, but let's make sure we draw these center lines. This one would actually go all the way through like that. And okay, I think that is it. I'm not going to draw hidden lines. It's a little too, it gets a little too messy. Okay, so let me stop this.